It's hot, it's muggy, it's Miami. Nobody likes it, but it's nighttime anyway, so it's a lot cooler. And we are back with our favorite coterie of misfits, bloodsuckers, and degenerates. How you doing today? This is Angel Citadel. My name is Josh Wallace. I'll be your storyteller for this campaign of Vampire the Requiem from Onyx Path Publishing. As always, I've got my cast here of wonderful actors and personalities. And let's go through and introduce them real quick for those of you that haven't joined us yet. We welcome you. And let's get right to it. Jeff, why don't we get started with you today?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
My name is Jeff. I am playing Sage Thorn, who is a Maquette vampire, sort of loosely affiliated with what are they called? The proletariat.
The Carthians.
The Carthians, yes. But not clearly especially interested in their politics, as Sage finds them to be a bit stuffier than they initially appeared. And you can find me on Discord as Jeffrey Boring if you care.
Awesome, thank you. Rusty.
Hi, I'm Rusty T. Robot. I'm playing Victor Rockwell, an Invictus Gangrel, who kind of fucked up last session by bringing his unpaid intern around and kind of just leaving her there. You can find me on Discord as Rusty the Robot _ between each word in the Angel Citadel Discord server.
Joanne?
Yeah, I'm playing Kimberly McKnight, a Dave who's currently orderless while trying to figure out what kind of order she wants to join. Contributor to the chaos and enjoying myself, torturing my loving and wonderful husband.
And last but not least, Caro.
Hi, I'm Caro. I'm playing Charlotte Delacour, an Invictus Deve with a hunger for power and a powerful hunger. I have also been part of the chaos.
That's your new slogan. I love it. We're going with that. All right. Recap from last session. Anybody want to jump in?
That's your cue, Rusty.
Come on, Rusty.
Poke, poke, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, I got nothing, guys.
I'll do it.
Caro was just kind enough to tell you everything that happened, and you poof.
And she ran through it so fast, and my brain absorbed none of it.
I was talking for too long. I got embarrassed. Okay. Last time we each had kind of a visitor at the beginning of our night. Charlotte found a red rose with a letter on it on her table in her not broken into apartment. Frightening. There was calligraphy about our sacred admirer, and the scent was with strawberries. She's got to kiss some pretty girls to see who has lip smackers. Don't know who the secret admirer is. A Circle of the Crone visited Sage to tell him not to feed in their territory. Their name was Arabeth. They left with the message, when you see him next, tell your grandsire that our debt is paid. Kimberly got a text from a hunter about meeting for a diplomatic relation, that is Luther Stickle. Atticus called in ink for a meeting, that's our nickname for Victor, that he realized that he had an opportunity to work with Kim and the prince, and to really grab hold of that. Victor decides that he is into his unpaid intern Piper after she was flirting with him. He first goes to Charlotte for advice. Charlotte says, "There's always going to be a power imbalance. We are vampires. Get over it." Kimberly says something of the same, and the woman that he accidentally walked into her orgy also said the same. So he decides that he's going to have sex with her. He does not think this through, as he is wont to do. Sage and Charlotte go to Keenan's Rarities to try to find a Hebrew copy of the Lesser Key of Solomon. The Hebrew copy was stolen. We're not sure who. We couldn't get into the back room to figure it out. But as we were leaving, a mage's voice in our heads said, "If you know what's good for you, you won't visit Mr. Keenan again." So we believe that we're on the right path. We were headed back to the school when Ink realizes that he has set Piper into a course for certain ruin and has since run back to try to ghoulify her, evidently.
Again, he's not good at thinking things. He is not good at thinking things through.
So
This
yes,
is
we
true.
have a human sitting around in Elysium.
No, the important scary part isn't that she's a human, it's that she's an unattached human.
This is true. And that's where we're going to start our story today. So, Kimberly, after Victor's escapade with running on 2 hands and 2 feet down the street and getting chased by the police, you return back to Elysium with him and head down to the levels of the conservatorium that house it, and you find his new unknown beau or whatever sleeping on a cot in your office / workspace.
Oh, look at her. She's so sweet and innocent.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she is, ain't she?
And you put her in the middle of a den of vampires.
Yeah, not my brightest idea, so fuck you.
No, thank you. You keep offering, I'm going to keep refusing, but I'm sure she'd be more than happy to.
You and I both know it ain't an offer.
Kimberly's just going to giggle at him. You're so adorable when you're riled. Do it again. Do it again. You're like an angry little puppy. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Yeah, whatever. Just how, Kim? I'm not sure how. I'm not sure what to go. How if I can go through with this here?
I'll take care of it.
Like, if I do this, it fucks up her life.
It's too late for that, sweetheart. There are only 2 options. Once again, right in front of you. Well, yeah, 2 options. Option A, we give her the opportunity to become a ghoul. Or option B, one of our brothers, sisters, snap her neck. Which do you think is better for her? At least with the ghoul, after a few months, you can let her go and she'll go right back about her business.
Yeah, that's. See, neither option's preferable, but the former's the more safe option here.
For a given value of safe, correct?
No, as safe as it can be.
Now,
anyway.
the important question is do you want to do it, or would you prefer me to make the offer? That way I remove that level of power from you. It will give her slightly more modicum of protection because I am attached to the prince, and they're not going to want to annoy the prince by upsetting me, so...
Yeah, no, that's...
Because I'm the prince's current favorite experiment.
Yeah, I've already got 1 level of power imbalance over her. I don't need a second one.
Sorry, remind me, is Sage and Charlotte with y'all?
No, you guys went to the campus anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all just said to stay at the campus. But if y'all want to be with us and be part of this little chaotic fest, you're more than welcome to.
Then we can say you turned around and came back. That's entirely up to you two.
Because Charlotte wants to know what happens with regards to girl.
Yeah,
What
Charlotte
would
wants to
happen if
see.
it's
Charlotte wants to see this fuckery happen, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, Charlotte wants to see how painful it is for Piper.
Okay. You good with that, Sage?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry for
That
the
sounds
slight
fine.
retcon.
All right. You guys are there.
yeah, I'm gonna
Um,
walk over.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Victor, are you sure you want... I mean, you should be the one to do it, right?
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. As Kimmy just said, right?
Uh-huh.
She'll be more protected.
Sure.
I can't guarantee that protection.
Plus, it's only for a month.
Yeah, exactly. It's only for a month. But
I have to renew it every month at the same day, pretty
Damn
close
it,
to the
Charlie.
same time.
Charlie, you got me overthinking things.
Have you
got
ever
me
put a
rethinking.
dog to sleep?
Yeah.
You wouldn't want the owner to be waiting in the waiting room. This is going to tie her to whomever does this, and it's pretty shit of you to try to let someone else do it, regardless of your intentions. Kimmy, I'm not saying we shouldn't trust you. I'm not saying we should. But I am saying that if this is going to be your responsibility, you've got to take the dog for a walk. You've got to be able to clean a litter box.
Fuck, I hate when
I
you're
don't
right.
think dogs use litter.
Yeah,
But-
backtracking. They don't use litter. It's cats you're thinking of there, Charlie.
Either way, it's a mammal.
But
You're taking responsibility
At
for
the
her.
end of the day, it's your choice, Victor. This is your. I offered to do it because you're sitting there whining about it, and if she's actually useful, I prefer for her not to end up dead because you're too lost in your own bullshit to actually do what needs to be done.
no, yep. Kimberly, you got good points, but I fucking hate the fact that I'm saying this. Lottie's right.
Get in there,
And-
Tiger.
Do it.
Right. He's going to walk up to Piper and
Wait. Important question. Before we start this, do you actually know what you're doing?
I
Oh, Jesus H.
I was never walked through any of this shit. You know that.
Okay. When a baby vampire and a mommy human
Gross. God.
love each other very much.
All right, here's the thing. You don't bite her. You
He's
don't
got
train her. What you're going to do is you're going to have a conversation and offer her this life. She will be yours in all the ways. She will be completely obedient to you. She will do whatever you want with a smile on her face because she'll be your pet. Her comment about being a dog is not exactly wrong.
So pretty much
She will obey you no matter what. Now, you can be a kind and benevolent owner and provide her with guidance and teaching and encourage her to live her life almost as if it's normal. Or you could be like any other vampire and she's a beloved pet.
So pretty much just how mine and her relationship already is. It's just gonna be the
Yeah.
exact same.
Gross.
Only more so.
Ew. Gross, dude. What the fuck?
No, that's
Right now, she can refuse to do something that you directly tell her to. When she
Oh.
becomes a ghoul, that gets taken away. It doesn't
Yes.
mean you have to control everything that she does. It doesn't mean she can't think for herself. It means that no matter what, if you choose to override something that she's doing, you have that power.
Okay, well, he's going to take a deep breath in. Whew. Right, and he's going to walk over to Piper and gently kind of nudge her awake. Hey,
She
hey, Piper.
kind of blinks and rubs at her eyes and looks up. Hey, Mr. Rockwell.
Ew.
This isn't really the greatest bed or anything, but the office seems kind of nice. It's a nice enough place, I suppose. Moving up in the world?
Not. Yes, yes and no. Oh boy, this is gonna be a difficult conversation to have here.
Ink, do you want us to go?
No. I kind of need you guys here for this.
Okay.
Mainly because if I say any shit that is gonna be, wrong, you need to correct me here. I need this to go as smoothly as possible.
Kimberly is just busting out laughing.
Charlotte, is glaring at Kimberly.
All right. Okay. Pipes. Before anything.
She looks at Kimberly and kind of furrows her brow for a second. I know you.
Good girl. That means you remember who I am. I am Victor's current employer.
You're that rock star lady.
Precisely. And the reason why Victor is employed by me is he's making the music videos. Now, he has a very important discussion to have with you and a very important offer that you need to think very calmly and thoroughly about. And please do be aware that most of what he will tell you is truth, and we will be able to prove it to you.
So, Pipes, you know those horror stories of, vampires, werewolves, all that kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're real.
Although garlic does just give the blood a little extra zest. It doesn't really actually hurt vampires.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much. But yeah, no, Pipes, I know it's may come as a shock, but they are real.
She just
And
kind of stares at you like you've grown a second head or something.
look, I know I sound crazy. I know.
Yeah, you do.
Please remember, I did say I could prove it to you.
She can, and one thing that I've been kind of keeping from you here, Piper, is I am one of the former. I am a vampire, and so are these three.
She looks at all four of you and then goes around the room again. And then she lets out this high-pitched giggle. Like, you got to be freaking kidding me with it. All right, where's the hidden cameras? You know, I'm being punked.
No, Piper, you're not being punked.
I'm gonna step forward because she's obviously terrified, and I'm gonna hold out my hand. I am not blessed with life. Slap my hand.
She kind of looks at your hand and goes to slap it. Smack. Whoa.
Go ahead, touch it. And I'm gonna reach into my back pocket and pull out a knife and say, "Go ahead, cut my hand."
She drops the knife, but she does touch your hand.
Probably smart.
It's cold.
Yep.
It's not that cold here.
Yeah,
No.
no.
Do you have
Have
bad
ever wondered
circulation or something?
Where's
Have
my
you ever wondered,
pulse?
Piper, have you ever wondered why whenever, I'm talking to you or you're, grabbing my hand or whatnot, I'm always wearing gloves?
I figured it was one of those weird introvert artist things.
Well, that too, but, and he's gonna take off one of his gloves, and just so you know that I'm not fucking with you, feel my hand now, and search for my pulse.
Hang on.
Wait, is a vampire's
And
pulse
that's kind of impressive, actually.
We don't have a pulse at all.
You're dead.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
dead.
All right. So, surprisingly, she actually does know how to check for a pulse. She
Smart.
touches your hand and kind of gasps, "You're cold too." And then she feels for your wrist and holds her two fingers there over that artery. And her brow kind of furrows again, and then she looks at you just shocked, like, how, what?
Now blush.
All right. And I am going to blush with life. I'm going to spend a
And a
spend a
vitae, yep.
vitae and blush with life. All right.
And as she feels that pulse start up and your hand warm, like almost immediately, she drops your hand like it's a hot coal. Oh my
I told
God.
Yeah, I told you I ain't fucking with you.
Don't be scared though.
Oh no, she should be terrified.
Not of
But
us.
not of
Yeah,
us.
I am.
But not
No,
of
Oh
us.
no.
she should definitely be scared of Sage because she's a tasty treat for Sage.
Yeah,
But
yeah, no, Sage, I want you to stay away from her.
I have no intention of killing your little pet. I just think it's important to know, for her to know, that coming here tonight ruined your life.
And that's completely my fault.
But it's gonna be so much fun.
But the problem is, and I fucked up by bringing you here, and I put you in danger. But there is one way for me to at least keep you out of danger, at least a little bit.
safe-ish.
So you say, yeah,
You mean-
exactly. Like Kimberly there
Like-
said, I need you to be safe-ish.
You mean like put me in a place where no one knows about me?
Not
Sweetheart, you're in the middle of the vampire neutral zone. There are cameras everywhere that see everything, and my boss's right
Not everything.
hand knows of your existence. You have two options at this point. Option A, you can be turned into a ghoul, which means you'll live a really long time. And when I say a really long time, I'm talking 3 or 4 centuries because your aging slows down. And as long as whoever ghoulifies you keeps feeding you, you'll live forever because they're sharing their life force with you. Or we can take you upstairs, we can allow you to leave, and if you make it out of Miami before tomorrow night, you'll live, but now you'll
But-
know and you're going to be marked.
and she would never be able to really return without being hunted.
Yes. But if you become ghoulified, you could stay with Victor for all of your days. We cannot
And
make you a vampire, but later on, after we became more powerful and got the prince's permission, you could become one of us. That tends to be a popular thing. Now, as
The prince?
my boss and dad, I wonder how he'd react if I called him daddy in private. That'd be an
I
interesting
love her.
you should do it. You should do it. You should, you know what they say about science. You just got to experiment with it.
Correct.
Most of our family trees are kind of a Venn diagram.
So,
Okay, out of character. I like that too.
so
That's a really good way to put it.
Thanks.
yeah, sounds about right. So in our culture, we have a leader. They are called the prince. It does not matter if they're male or female. Think of them as the queen or king of a specific city. They typically have their advisors, which are the primogens, and then the primogens have their elders. It's all very bullshit, but that's what we have. That's what we deal with. My boss is the person who agrees for people to become vampires or not vampires. Without his permission, our dear friend Victor here could turn you. However, if he did, then both of you would have to leave Miami and you would be hunted and probably killed because Victor isn't powerful enough to protect you as a sire yet. However, as a ghoul, that elevates you from food to favored pet.
Well, maybe Victor can define your relationship.
So, okay.
I'm talking in kindred society itself, not the relationship that they have. How others would view their relationship is you would become a favored pet, which means that they wouldn't hurt you because that would offend and harm Victor, which would in turn offend and upset me, which in turn would offend and upset the prince. And the prince is not somebody you upset because yeah, that's no, we don't do that.
And
So
Piper, our what we have, our relationship that we have right now doesn't have to change much. But
actually, it changes completely.
well, I'm talking
You
about what.
become
Let me finish explaining so I don't scare her here, Kim.
Oh, I think we're way past that.
I know,
she's already
but
terrified. Look, she's got an option. You can define your relationship afterwards, but these are her only options. She either says yes to the offer of being ghoulified and chooses who she wants to be her ghoulification leader, or says no and she dies.
there is Piper,
Kimberly's
there
gonna
is
kind of
one
shrug.
right, but you got to remember you forgot to mention the biggest caveat. Piper, whoever ghoulifies you, you become completely obedient to them. Completely.
Yes,
With no chance of saying no. I'm
for a
just
month.
warning you about that. For a month, but I'm just warning you about that ahead of time.
And then you
do
gotta be
have-
re-ghoulified.
You do have other options than Victor or Kimberly.
What, Lottie, are you saying you'd be the other option?
Yeah, Charlie could be the other option. Even Sage
Not
could be the option.
necessarily.
This
I'm
is
saying there are 4
No.
vampires in a room trying to keep this woman from dying. Maybe we don't need to plot info dump and can just maybe, hey, here are the choices. Give it a moment.
I think that we should let you make this choice now with Victor. If you want someone else to do it, then you can. But I feel uncomfortable. Like this is between you. I'm leaving. And Sage walks out the door, picks up the knife.
Okay.
from the floor that she dropped, and puts it into Victor's hand and says, "Just do it or don't do it, but we have a whole night. We've got to make progress."
We do.
Okay.
Piper, all in
And
all,
Sage walks out the door.
Piper, all in all, the decision is yours. And I can't make that one for you.
Well, I mean, I could, but I won't because that'd be rude.
She kind of bites the inside of her cheek and is thinking, and then she looks at you and she says, if I do this, it only has to be for a month, right?"
It only has to be a month.
No,
Well, no, fuck, no, it doesn't.
it'll have to be for the rest of your internship, at least at a minimum, to give time for your presence as a human in Elysium to be forgotten. But after that, we could probably work out a deal with the prince to let you go somewhere else. You would not be able to stay in Miami if you are not qualified.
She looks over at the door, wondering if she can get out in time to get away from the three of you. She decides against that. She looks back at Victor and
It won't hurt.
So what do I need to do?
Sure.
That's my
Right.
cue. Charlotte
Boom.
exits.
And specifically my blood.
Kimberly's going to look at Victor. So what you're going to do, the easiest route to do it for changing her would be setting up a glass of wine and putting some of your blood into it and stirring it up. That'll make it a little more palatable for her tastes. Otherwise, your blood is a little thick and viscous. You'll need to wait at least 48 hours before feeding from her, but you can feed from anybody else without any issues. And then she can look at her. You're going to be starving afterwards. At least that's what I was told by the one that I ghoulified. Because he was really, really cute. And he's a puppet with a badge. So, but yeah, you're going to want to eat a lot. You will never have to worry about gaining weight. Your nail and hairs will grow, but I'll arrange for Victor to receive a stipend to provide you with hair care and nail care. But yeah, you'll never gain weight again for as long as you're ghoulified.
That's kind of nice.
Eat whatever you want. I'm rather fond of steak and lobster. A friend of mine absolutely loves these pastries from New Orleans called beignets. She usually eats 3 or 4 dozen in a sitting and doesn't gain any weight. Do you have any questions for me? I'm simply here to ensure that Victor walks through it smoothly, simply because he's never done it before and his education with regards to this stuff was lacking. Oh, and the sex is fantastic afterwards, I promise.
And she blushes.
Are you ready for this, Victor?
As ready as I can be.
You'll be fine. And Kimberly's going to clap him on the shoulder, lean down and brush a cold kiss on her forehead, and then walk out to get a glass of wine for them.
Okay.
Actually, could I bring the wine into them?
Sure, I will come out and see you standing there. They're going to need a glass of wine. Do you want to go with me to get it?
Yeah, I'd love to take it to them.
Okay. You head down to the main level where there is a room set off to the side that's got all kinds of different rollout tables and portable buffet things and stuff for like the parties that they have at Elysium. There is also a massive alcohol cabinet and wine selection there. Nothing too ostentatious. Those are typically in private collections, but something like this, you can grab a bottle of wine just real easy. So, whatever kind you want to select. Probably a red.
We could make a rosé.
A dark rosé.
That
Charlotte's
sounds
grabbing a goblet with a red wine in it. Would you mind if I took this into them? I'm
Not at all.
interested in seeing the ghoulification process.
Of course. Give me a moment, and I'm gonna load up a plate with some steak and some, other foods and hand it to her. She's gonna need this afterwards.
Of course. It was very sweet of you to help them, walk them through. Charlotte heads back in, knocks at the door. It's Lottie.
Yeah. Come in.
She steps in and just hands both items over to Piper. You okay?
And she gives kind of a brave smile and says, "Yeah, I'll be okay."
Okay.
And then she sees the plate, and it's like there's more money on that plate than she's had in a dinner meal in 5 or 6 days combined. It's probably a $400 plate that you've got right there.
You should wait to eat this until after it's happened. It's bloating.
Okay.
Victor.
Right, Piper, I don't actually think that I introduced you to this one. This is Charlotte.
Charlotte Delacour, pleasure to meet you.
Well, hello. I'm Piper. But you knew that. I mean, I'm his personal assistant,
It's nice to meet you.
intern, I guess.
Good friend of his, it seems.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
He's great.
I'm going to tell something to our friend Victor here. It's very important you don't tell anyone.
Okay.
Victor, it is equally important you don't tell anyone.
Understood.
I have a human girlfriend who is aware, and I would like to see what happens.
And you heard the risks involved just as well as I did.
I
You heard
did.
what? Okay. And trust me, my lips are sealed.
Thank you. I will
I'm
be
not
a fly on the wall.
All right, Piper, you ready for this? And
She kind of stares at you with wide eyes, and finally she nods.
okay, and Victor is going to slice a bit of his finger, just enough to get a couple drops of blood out into the wine. He's
Okay,
going to kind of.
so what you're gonna do is you're gonna pay a point of vitae and a point of willpower.
All right. And he's going to stir the blood into the wine and roll it around a bit and hand it to her. Now, I don't want you to think about it. You got to just down it.
She kind of takes the goblet and lifts it to her nose and sniffs it, and then she slowly starts to drink the wine. And it takes her a few seconds, but she drains the goblet of wine and sets it down, blinks for a second, and then her eyes open really, really wide. And she sucks in this breath like she's, you know, that feeling that you get when you've been holding your breath underwater and you come up for air, and that first breath is just it's like that. And she stands up and she says, "Oh my God."
How are you feeling, Pipes?
She looks at you. Fucking amazing. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. Do not apologize for that.
I feel like I could do anything right now. And then she, or
That's
anybody.
a little bit of a stretch. Not Piper. Not right now.
I'm gonna go while you consummate your marriage. Farewell.
But Victor.
Piper.
She has shut the door. Good luck, guys.
Lottie, get the fuck you, Lottie, get back in.
She comes back
Okay.
to the rest of the group. I think they're having sex.
Well, it's about time. Maybe he'll be less pissy if his pipes are cleaned up properly.
Seems like it would help. At least relax a little.
That's one problem solved. Let's head back for the college. Victor can catch up after he's finished.
Victor, I will leave it to you as to whether or not anything actually happens.
Oh yeah, no, they're going. They're gonna end up going at it.
Okay.
Ew.
Like rabbits.
Going at it.
Going at it. Christ alive.
So romantic.
Get her done.
What a beautiful romantic moment here in
He
our
is
game.
100% getting her done.
Gross.
Mm-mm.
Oh my
Mm-mm.
goodness. All right, Sage, Kimberly, Charlotte, you are headed back to the campus. I'm assuming you're taking Charlotte's car.
Yeah, it'd be logical.
Whoever's in the back, you have to fold the seat down. Mini Cooper.
So you guys head to campus. It is, as usual, late. The student union is open. As major of a campus as Miami is, University of Miami, it's open 24/7. Although The restaurants and the food court are closed, and it's not. You can't get into like any of the back areas really, where the counseling offices are and the financial aid stuff, and there's nobody there. But all the common areas like the tables and the clusters of chairs and couches and stuff like that, those are all accessible. There are a few people there studying, probably avoiding roommates that are having drunken late night soirees or whatever. What do you do?
I'm going to go check the security office and see if he's there.
Okay.
Do I see any of the students that we've met before in the hall? Andrea or anybody?
None of the students, but that the Texan security guard is there.
She steps up
And
to
yes, your security guard is in the office.
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Let me jump back to Charlotte here really quick. You walk up to him and
when she sees that he's in there, she steps back outside and plucks a flower from a like rose bush or something that's nearby the student union, and steps up to him with it behind her back. Says, "Officer, I was looking for you."
well, hey there, little lady. How y'all doing?
I'm great. Silly, but I wanted to find you and say thank you for your help the other night.
I wasn't nothing at all.
She holds out the flower to him, just a token of my gratitude.
Well, thank you, but there's no need for that. That's my job.
Sure. But good jobs deserve to be rewarded.
Well, thank you, ma'am. You have a good evening
Well,
now.
you as
Unless,
well.
unless there's something else.
I'm. It seems like everything's taken care of. The guy is gone. I haven't heard of anything else happening on campus. Have you?
Not really.
All right. Thank you. I'll finish my studying. My mate has a gentleman over, so
Ah, fun times.
I got kicked out.
They still hang the socks on the door.
Oh, more like text the entire group chat that he's finally coming over. So
Ah, okay.
I took my cue. Let me know. I will be having to walk back kind of late, so would you just come let me know if anything's going on?
Sure. I can
Thank
do
you.
that.
Thank you. And what was your name?
That name we gave him the time that you met him last.
We did not. We did not give him a name last time.
You didn't, Josh. You did
Random
not.
NPC 123. I mean, let's call him Blake.
Officer Blanket.
Blake.
Officer Blake.
Officer Blake.
Thank you,
Blake
Officer
Blanket.
Blake.
It's Blake Blanket, right? That's his name?
No. His last
Thank
name
you,
is not
Officer.
Blanket.
She returns and kind of melts into the crowd to go find the security room.
Okay. Cutting back to the security room. You walk up with Charlotte and Sage.
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Well, Miss McKnight, how are you? And who are these? And he's immediately suspicious.
This is Lottie and Sage. Lottie and I are going to be enrolling in school here in a little bit, and Sage is just keeping an eye on us for our folks.
I'm already a student here, so. And I pull out my student ID. See?
Oh, well,
My
all right.
ancient community.
It's a few months old.
Yeah.
I was hoping for your help. Would you be willing to pull up the cameras again for that room and then track where the kids went afterwards?
I can try, yeah.
I'd appreciate it.
And you see him go to work on his computer, and it takes him a good 30 minutes. Part of that is he pulls out this this really thick binder full of paper and instructions and stuff, and it looks like he's looking for something for 5 or 10 minutes actually. And he finally finds this piece of paper, and he starts going down the instructions on it and hunting and pecking at keys and things like that. It's obvious that that you've asked him to do something that he doesn't do very often. And so at the end of this half hour, he finally looks up and he says, you know, they left in a car, actually it was a van, out of the north parking lot about, like, thinks about it for a second and then starts counting on his hand, about 15 minutes after they left the student union.
Can I get do I get the license plate number?
Oh, let me see if I can figure that out. Hang on. And he goes back and he flips through that book again and finds a different page. And then he does the hunt and peck thing on the keyboard, and it brings the license plate, and he blows it up and enhances it, and he reads you off the tag number.
I'm gonna jot it down and then I'm gonna send a text to my cop friend. I don't remember what
Detective Jason O'Donnell.
Yeah, Jason. I'm gonna text Jason. Hey, Jason, can you run a plate for me? I'll make it worth your while.
Oh yeah? What you gonna do?
Give you the name of a drug dealer.
Ooh.
Who's your favorite?
And how would you know this drug dealer by chance?
He tasted like chocolate.
I see. So not being picky in our dietary.
Actually, no, I specifically hunt them for you. Because you're my favorite.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I can check it out for you. Let me get the tag number, and I will give you a call back as soon as I have something for you.
Hi, love. I will see you later. And then I'll text him an address where one of the drug dealers that's not friends with my mafia boss hangs out.
Okay.
Kimberly knows way too damn many people for Joanne to keep track of.
She really does know a lot of people, don't she?
She spent a lot of time thinking about that. Of course, before she became a vampire, there was a period of time in her life where she made a lot of really bad choices. It's about an hour later, and he texts you back a name.
Yeah, I figure I'm going to take the 2 and we're going to go wander the campus while waiting for him to text me back, simply because I don't want to hang out in one place for any length of time and get people nosing.
Okay. He texts you back a name and an address. And the name is Evelyn West.
Charlotte's
And the
gonna
plot
get,
thickens.
once she has the name, Charlotte's gonna get on social media and looking up everything she can about this chick.
She looks really, really, really boring and conservative. Her, and when I say conservative, I mean that in the strict sense, right? Not as a political party, but as
She's
doesn't go to
boring.
wild parties, doesn't post incendiary things, doesn't, you know. In fact, a lot of her posts seem to be religious in nature, talking about the punishments of God and how God will bring scourge upon the sinners. And so she says she hopes that her and her friends will remain strong in the days ahead, and you know, keep the straight and narrow path. You know, and so that fills up probably a good 50% of her social media.
Yeah. Is she following any of the missing students or Andrea or the bookstore?
She is following both of the missing students.
Does she seem, this is going to be Kara's ignorance coming through, but does she seem the lesser, what's that?
What now?
The book, The Lesser Key of Solomon would be a part of her religious beliefs?
No.
Okay.
No, typically, the lesser key is associated with demonologists, numerologists, Hebrew Kabbalists, things like that. Not Christian, not anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Very, very esoteric, very occult, pagan types of religions.
Charlotte holds the phone out to Sage. She looks so boring.
Oh, you know, I think I mean, she seems like a religious nut in all of this. That doesn't seem boring. That seems dangerous. Um,
You can be two things.
hmm. I feel like maybe the religion is part of why she targeted the others. We know that he was interested in sort of pagan
Cult stuff.
stuff.
But do you think, I mean, would she have been kidnapped or was it more of a getaway car? Did they know that this was going to happen?
Like,
The snippets of video that you saw, they did not appear to be struggling with her.
But it was her, it's not just her car.
She got in the car on the driver's side.
Hmm.
Okay.
And the car is registered to her.
What if
Do I see what church she goes to?
You do not.
do we see them get into the van?
Yes,
Okay. And they just get in willingly into the back of the van?
they get in willingly to the van. They don't. They're not getting in through the back. They're getting through the sliding door on the side.
Okay. Do you
And it's not. I
think
mean, it's
maybe
not like. It's not even like. They open the sliding door and hands reach out and grab them and drag them in or something like that.
They're
It's not
just
even like
stepping
that.
in.
They just get in.
do you think that she's maybe a Ventru? Or what if she's a ghoul for some Ventru? Don't ghouls sometimes, when they've been a ghoul for long enough, don't they start to develop like powers that we have?
They can,
Maybe she
yes, but
is.
only if you're powerful enough.
Well,
Yeah.
mages told us to get off of the trail. Maybe instead of a ghoul, she's
A mage.
or working for it.
Maybe. It just
I'm just
seems
trying
like
to
she
see,
would be so. It seems so counterintuitive if she's really this kind of religious nut, unless maybe
The mages
she's
have no religious nuts too.
affiliated with the Lancea at Sanctum.
maybe. I'm trying to think of why the mage that we saw would care who she is or why we were on her tail.
Yeah, and who's my grandsire?
Mm.
Yeah, me either. Why did he tell me to talk to my grandsire about something? That's weird.
It was weird.
That was
You
she.
think
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
the
the
crone,
circle.
wasn't
Yep.
it? Circle of the crone. Yeah.
I read that.
Well,
But
then I rescind the last few statements. Uh, strike that from the record, please.
I have changed the pronouns.
Hang on, the stenographer's got to X through it.
Yeah. So she's either with some religious fanatical mages, or she's with religious fanatical vampires.
Either way, they seem a little boned. I mean, I can see why the prince would care if it was the Lancet. Do we have an address for her?
Yes, you have an address for her.
Kimberly, I think you would probably be the most upsetting to her. So why don't you and I go and talk to her and see if we can get her really mad? Maybe she'll say something, or she'll give us some dire warning that tells us who her affiliations are with.
Kimberly is going to hold up a finger while she's rapidly texting on her phone.
Who are you texting?
Crow. I know a lot of people.
We know. Is there something we could help with or investigate with you? Or
Help
did you
me
want to take this
find a
solo?
nice bottle of scotch.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
I don't drink. I'm a vampire.
I think
You
all
should.
three, Charlotte, Sage, I think all three of us should go and visit her. I think the three of us should be in a relationship. And she's going to make quotes around the words relationship. And I'll ask her if she's heard about our Lord and Savior, Count Dracula.
I mean, I would go with like the devil, but sure,
Yeah.
that's exactly my strategy. Let's go and upset her somehow. That will either her powerful friends will show up and we will get some insight into who they are, or she will get upset and say something, or we'll just find out that she's their youth leader and they just went to a youth meeting with her. I don't know. Um, but this is the strongest lead we've had.
Yeah, hop in. Charlotte's already getting into the car. I want to find out what church she goes to. So if you see a bumper sticker or one of those, I don't know, signs in a yard.
Okay, we're gonna head there. I'm gonna text Victor to let him know where we're going now, to where he doesn't come looking for us. And then we're gonna head for that location. And while we're doing it, I'm gonna be adjusting my clothes to be even more scandalous and make sure all of my tattoos are on display. And then I'm gonna put one of those magnetic nose rings in.
Do you think it would be smarter if we had one person that she's not terrified of? So in case she
No,
does get a little spooked?
no,
No?
no,
Well, you
no.
could be the non-terrifying one. You're the closest one to us being normal.
I mean, you're very pretty, but you're also kind of slutty looking. So,
I'm not slutty.
I said slutty looking.
I'm not slutty looking. I'm
If
beautiful.
I were a religious fanatic, I would look at you and I would say, that girl's a whore. And then I would assign terrible values to you. So I'm not saying you look like a slut, just that
Uh-huh.
he's going to think that you look slutty.
I have a
So
cardigan.
I I don't think that's gonna fix how short your skirt is.
Whatever. She, as they arrive at the house, she parks about a block away. All right,
Park
I
kids.
about a
think you
block
should come
away.
with us.
You said you
Yeah.
park about a block away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Car is relatively recognizable.
Okay.
I'm going with you. You've talked
Okay,
me into
good.
it. You just couldn't bear to be
Um,
away from me for long.
All
I
right.
mean,
the the address is not a house, it's an apartment. It's one of those banks of 4 apartments, with a staircase in the middle, and then across it is another bank of 4 apartments. You've got several of those types of buildings in the area. There's probably 20, There might be 40 apartments, but I don't think it's that big. I wouldn't describe it as that big. And so you go looking, and you find the building that her apartment's going to be in, and that's where we're going to take our break for today. So when we come back, we'll find out what's in the apartment and what you're going to do about it. Those of you that have hung out with us for so long, thanks for sticking around. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. And until then, have fun. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are in Miami. We are outside of an apartment building, and we're about to find out what our 3 vampires see when they go inside. You head upstairs to the 2nd story, and the doorway looks like any other door, except that it's got a large crucifix, not nailed to it, but with like a picture hanger on a wire.
Man strip.
So
They
What?
preach, they preach so much and then hang instruments of torture on their doors. I'm
Is
gonna
it
knock on the door.
mobile? Wait, is it mobile? The cross?
mobile.
Can I put it upside down?
You can try. So
Vampires touching crucifixes always goes well.
it's not even that.
But
So the crucifix is not going to hurt you.
No.
It's more
The
like
script won't let me.
the center of gravity of the cross is the wrong direction for you to be able to hang it upside down, because it's on a short wire between 2 hooks on the back of each of the arms of the cross,
Yeah,
and
never
then
mind.
it's
Then.
yeah, and then it gets hooked onto the hook on the door, right, and hangs like a wreath. If you turn that upside down, all the weight's on top because of the long post of the cross. It'll fall off or fall down or whatever, right? It won't stay.
Are we sure just running up to this girl is the right tact? I mean, if the
no, but we
teenagers are
gotta do.
alive.
Sorry, that was somebody else. No, but I mean, we've got to do something,
Good point.
and we need to find out who's behind this. I just think this strategy is a strong one.
I'm gonna lean
Like,
close to the door and take a deep breath while they're talking.
And what are you looking for?
I'm smelling to see what I can smell. Do I smell blood? Do I smell cleaning? Do I smell flowers? Do I smell old people?
Young people.
And soap. You smell. Yeah, you smell flowers. Make a perception check. You also smell the faintest scent of blood.
I'm gonna knock. And I'm gonna listen closely at the door to see if I hear anything as well.
she answers. Sage is going to use uncanny perception.
Okay, and what does that do?
I focus on a single target, and my beast sniffs out the victim's dark secrets. On a success, I would ask you one question about the victim's secrets or weaknesses for success.
Okay.
But that's only if she, if the woman that I recognize from the images answers, then that's who I want. That's what I want to do.
You see the light through the peephole darken, and a voice call through, "What do you want?"
Speak to you.
We just want a moment of your time. We saw the symbol on your door, and we thought probably like-minded, and we just wanted to have a conversation about, religion.
There's silence for a few moments, and then you hear the door being unlocked, and it opens.
Is
Come
it
on
Evelyn
in.
West?
What?
Is it Evelyn West?
It appears to be Evelyn West.
I'm gonna stroll in.
Okay.
She
I'm
is
going
leading the way
to.
back to what looks to be a living room. You see flowers all over the apartment. Most of them are white lilies.
Now that I'm in the apartment, can I discern where the blood smell's coming from?
No, it's faded. It's not
Yeah.
fresh.
Are these your favorite?
Yes, they are. I don't believe I know you. Well, no, I know you. And she looks at Kimberly. You're the prince's whelp.
And you are?
I presume that you know who I am if you're here.
I
It's
know
kind
your
of a silly
name.
question.
I know your name, Evelyn West. What I want to know is what you did with the 2 kids.
So as she led you inside, she walked over to the far side of the living room, and there is a window open.
Don't run. The sheriff already knows about you.
And she freezes and looks at the three of you.
He's very displeased.
Now, Sage, if you want to do your thing, you can go ahead.
Okay. I had rolled 1 success. So,
Okay, what's your question?
who is her master?
Ooh. Your beast is not going to be able to give you that information. Sorry. That's not about her. That's about somebody else.
Then who requested that she steal the kids from the campus?
Again, that's about somebody else, not her.
Well, I mean, it's not about somebody else. It's about like who she's taking orders from. Who does she worship? Who does she like? Who is she working for? I think that's a pretty standard.
So the kinds of things that this would be able to sniff out. What clan is she? What covenant does she belong to? Has she eaten recently?
Is she kindred? That's.
Is she
I mean,
kindred?
I was
Yeah.
assuming she isn't kindred because she shows up on pictures and stuff. What is her covenant?
But even you show up on pictures. So What I will say is that your beast knows that she is kindred.
Hmm.
From
Okay.
inside the apartment, you can sense her beast.
Okay.
So you don't even have to ask for that.
So what would her covenant be?
She is Lancea at Sanctum.
Hey, you were right.
And as you all are standing there, she does a back jump out the window and changes in midair into a bat.
I'm gonna call the sheriff.
Okay.
Does she scream bat as she jumps?
Probably.
Go gadget bat.
Yeah, I'm gonna call the sheriff. Evelyn West took the kids and just made a backflip out the window, turning into a bat. I didn't realize that was actually conceivable for us to do so. Yeah.
Yes, it's called beast form.
Well, if the
Fascinating.
children are still alive, she's going to kill them.
Who is Evelyn West? Who is Evelyn West's sire?
Her sire is a vampire that's passed, golly, 30, 40 years ago.
Well, it's obvious she's answering to somebody else.
Indeed.
The Lancea at Sanctum is who she is, her covenant.
Have we met the Primogen or anyone of the Lancet? I don't believe so.
You have not.
Yeah. I'm gonna start searching the apartment on the phone, Sheriff. So, yeah, what would you like to find out, boss? Oh, and what day is it? Because I don't think it's Monday.
It is, I believe it's still Sunday night.
Excellent. Okay.
He'll be quiet for a second, he said, and then he'll say, give me 10 minutes, I'll call you back.
Okay.
And he hangs up the phone.
While I'm searching the apartment, I'm going to shoot off a text to the Hunter team. When you said 1 a.m. on Monday, do you mean Sunday night to Monday morning or Monday night to Tuesday morning?
Monday night to Tuesday morning. It should have been 1 a.m. Tuesday. Sorry, that's my bad.
Do the flowers have a card or anything attached to them?
No, it looks like she's growing them, or was.
Yeah, I'm going to be hunting and seeing if I can locate the smell of blood.
The smell of blood is the most strong from the bedroom, but you don't find any like dried blood per se. It's like this is where she feeds, if that makes sense. What you also find in the black bedroom is a book that you know to be the Black Church's Bible. It's called the Testament of Saint Longinus.
I will point it out to Sage.
You see a copy of the scholastic schedules for each of the two students, and there is one other book in the room. It's called Dealing with Loss, The Magical Path.
Sage will pick that up and sort of thumb through it to see if there are any notes or
And
if there are
needless to
any
say,
like dog ears or anything like that.
You do actually see some highlighted portions, and they all tend to talk as you scan through them. They all tend to talk about using magic, the concept of using magic to remove pain, remove emotional pain from dealing with loss, any kind of loss.
Okay. And does this involve human sacrifice?
No, no,
Okay. Tremendous.
no. This looks
Um,
like if you walked into Barnes and Noble, right, and you go to the spirituality
okay.
section. This is one of
Okay.
those self-help spirituality books that you'd find on the shelves there.
I spent many hours at the Barnes and Noble looking at all that silly shit when I was a much younger man. I'm familiar.
We've met.
Back when I was Sage's age. Yeah, I just say she's trying to deal with some kind of loss, it seems like. Has she lost children? Is she trying to turn these two to be her progeny? I don't know. Um, we really should try to find where she's gone.
well, if you can turn into a bat and fly after her, that'd be great.
No, isn't that uh Nightfall looks around and says, "Ah, if only
Sage.
Victor were here." Oh, Sage. Sage turns around and looks and says, if only Victor were here,
I don't think Victor
Gangrel."
can turn into a bat either.
He's a gangrel.
Yeah, no, he can. He
Not
can.
yet.
Hmm,
Otherwise, he
no,
wouldn't get chased by the popo all the time.
yeah.
Actually, this is a good point. I'm going to text Victor that she has run off. I doubt she would go to Elysium, but no harm having extra eyes out.
See, the best Victor can do is glide. Can't fly yet.
Okay,
Best he can do is glide.
Victor. How many dice do you put together for perception?
Uh,
It's your wits plus composure.
right. Wits plus composure. Then that would be 6 dice.
Roll 2 dice.
Oof.
2 dice.
Yes, you're going to be at a -4 penalty for this particular roll.
Get a success.
Come on, bestie, you can do it.
All right.
Ooh. You got pretty dice.
Okay.
Consolation.
You are busily engaged in certain strenuous activities and enjoying it a lot. Apparently, she is too. And you stop as you see your phone vibrating on a table about 5 feet from you. And she starts to whimper. Don't stop.
Oh.
What do you do?
He's going to just let her know. No, pipes. I gotta check that one. I gotta check that. That there's. Oh, I knew this was gonna fucking happen too. Okay, Piper, get dressed. Just do whatever it is that you need to do. Just go about your day. I gotta check that. I probably gotta meet back up with the others.
And she pouts.
Make it our
She
fault.
looks utterly dejected.
Look, I will be back later. Okay?
All right, master.
Ugh.
No, don't call me that. Just, I don't like how that. I don't like how that feels. Just go back to calling me what you always would call me. That's better. That would feel better. Just go back to calling me Mr. Rockwell. Keep it at that.
Okay, Mr. Rockwell.
And again, Piper, I'm sorry. And he goes and he rushes, gets dressed, checks his phone.
What does the text say?
Oh, did I text you?
You did.
It says name Evelyn West, part of Lancet. Turned into a bat, ran off when we accosted her. If you see anyone at Elysium, ask if they've seen her.
And he's gonna text back. Yeah, sure. When are you guys gonna be back?
She sends a
Or
shrug of
or where are you guys?
she sends him a pin from her phone current location.
I'll see what I'll see what information I'm able to gather, and then I will just keep sharing your location. I'll find you once I get information.
Thumbs up.
Okay.
And he throws a thumbs up right back at her.
Does the Lancet have like a church where they meet or like a headquarters or anything other than Elysium?
Why, yes. Yes, they
Aha.
do.
What a great segue!
And you have a nifty map that has it on there.
Oh,
Ooh.
The Black Church is located on Northwest 119th Street in Miami, between Northwest 17th Avenue and Northwest 18th Avenue.
Kimmy, could some of your guns meet up with us there? I think we might just be like eaten if it turns out they're all doing something wrong.
Yeah, I think they can if we need to go there.
I mean, that's where I would put some kids.
No, because the prince visits there regularly.
Any other ideas?
Not at the moment, waiting for the sheriff to respond.
And as you're talking, he does. But I have a question I need to ask Victor first. Victor, How are you going about getting information in Elysium? I have to gauge how long this is.
Ooh. If I'm being honest, he's probably just going around finding anybody that he thinks looks important enough and is asking them for about things.
Oh no.
That's gotten him this far.
Oh
Well-
God. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
We've already established that this man does not make good decisions.
I know.
No, I totally get it. That's something that he would do, and that's fine.
This is not a character complaint.
Crap. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about that one for a minute. Okay, so you get a call back from the sheriff. I'm told that she's headed for Trinity Cathedral.
I'm going to share it with the
It's
group.
on the waterfront.
Can I have some backup, boss?
I can spare 2.
That'll do.
They'll meet you there.
Thanks, boss.
So the 3 of you load up and head over to Trinity Cathedral.
Yep.
Okay, so Trinity Cathedral is the oldest Catholic parish in the city of Miami. It is currently being attended to by the Archbishop Shea Alexander. And as you roll up, there are no lights at all inside the building, nor inside the rectory next door.
See any bats?
Not obviously, no.
Are there any smells or tracks or anything that looks unusual?
Not that you can see, but one of the men that gets out of the car that's also parked there, you don't know him. He walks over, he introduces himself as one of the sheriff's hounds.
Hello.
He closes his eyes for a second, and when he opens them again, he says, "She's here. There's a basement."
Let's go hunt us a vampire.
Are there any like storm doors or anything like what you would open to go into like a cellar?
I'm going to text the hunter team. How would you like to kill the leech? Or how would you like to perform some dust on the wind?
About a minute goes by, and you get a text back. Where and when?
Now, and I give him the address.
Here and now. Thank you.
Here now. Yeah.
This one can turn into a bat though. It's female. I'll send him a picture of the girl, of the chick. She took 2 kids without permission. We're hunting her down. We're gonna kill her. I figured as a sign of good grace, I'd offer you a chance to help. And make Josh make that face.
God, this is gonna be a mess. Okay. He responds back, "I'll be there with the team shortly."
Fantastic. I've got a hunter team coming in to give us an assist. They're acquaintances.
Vampire hunters?
The hound looks at you like you grew a second and a third head. You've got what?
Acquaintances? I don't trust anything that's happening here. She turned into a bat. We're going
yes.
into a lair. I want backup, and while the two of you, I'm sure, are very, very good, we don't know how many more are in there. Unless you know how many are in there.
I'm afraid not.
Kimberly claps her hands together. Come on, this will be fun.
The one vampire looks at the hound and says, "Boss." And the hound looks it back at him, almost with a helpless expression on his face. And then he sighs and he says, "All right, get to work on the door." And the guy goes and trots over to the door and he pulls out what looks to be a fairly extensive lockpicking kit and begins going to work on the door. In the time that it takes him to pick the lock, clean up, make sure that there's no fingerprints or anything, a van pulls up and out steps the individual that you guys saw at the concert, Luther
buddy.
Sickle, along with 4 other people. There is a short, scrappy-looking black woman that looks like she could kick all of your butt and not even break a sweat doing it. There's a much taller but thin guy that's carrying a backpack that looks like it's got antennas and wires going every which way in it. And then some of them are feeding into his pockets, like he's got gadgets or something on the inside. And then there's another guy, also kind of short, squat, but fairly stocky, and he's carrying what looks to be a large gun. I don't know. Let's see. Sage, you're probably not familiar with it. Victor, I don't know. You drew mostly cartoons, right? You're not there though. So you wouldn't know what it is. Kara or Charlotte, you probably don't know what it is. Yeah, no, none of you probably know what this is. So it looks big enough to be what you imagine is a machine gun.
Excellent timing. It's so good to meet you all. Shall we go dust on the wind? Billy, this is a hound. This is the hound's friend. This is Sage, and this is Lottie. They're on my team. The vampires we want are in this building.
The hound looks at Luther and he says, "Oh, fuck you." And Luther looks at this guy and grins and goes, "Hey, sweetness."
Oh, it's like that.
Miss me? And the hound looks at you and says, "The sheriff's going to hear about this."
He already knows.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He thinks it's an excellent diplomatic endeavor.
Until you're a Lancet.
All right. Was it 10 of you? Yeah, 10 of you enter into the cathedral. There are, pursuant to fire code, there are exit lights and emergency lights around the area that are on and visible. But most of what little light there is moonlight shining through stained glass. And it adds kind of a weird rainbowish eeriness to the church that none of you that have ever been inside a church, particularly a Catholic church, remember during a day, right? It's a very, very different feel. And so you guys spread out and you start looking, and there's nobody on this main floor.
I mean, basement?
You do find a door that appears to lead down. There's stairs behind it.
Charlotte calls over at least Sage, unless they were all together, and just starts headed to it. She calls over everybody, but kind of quietly, like motioning.
Sage has used obfuscation to just blur their existence from this party, and is just kind of following along at a distance. Sage is extremely uncomfortable with this many hunters seeing them.
Okay. It is dark enough that I'm not even going to make you roll for it. You are in the shadows. You vanish.
I'm going to look
Beautiful.
at the hound and the hunter team and then whisper, who's going first?
Who's brave enough?
Because if I go first, I tend to be a little loud, but I can go first and draw attention.
I would say the hunter or the hound looks at you and says, "This is your show."
Oh, excellent. I'm going to start bounding down the stairs. Quietly, because I am just wearing sneakers, but I'm going to go down the stairs.
Okay, you head down the stairs. Underneath Trinity Cathedral, you find a crypt. There are a few, and when I say a few, I'm only talking, a handful, right? 5, 6, 7, maybe sarcophagi, large stone, ornate, massive, like you've seen in film. Very, very intricate carvings of what appear to be venerable figures in the church. There is also a small-ish wall that has stone panels, like the crematoriums, right? So, for those that aren't special enough to get their own massive sarcophagus, they can be cremated and interned there, and be semi-special because they get to be near the massive sarcophagus, I
I
guess.
would love to be semi-special.
Semi-special.
Yeah, that's my city, baby.
So it leads into this massive room, and you see two large doors on the opposite side of the room, surrounding what looks like not quite a lectern, but more of a display case. That's the word I'm looking for. And inside the display case looks like a very, very, very old Bible. Latin, not English.
I start sniffing for Evelyn.
She's behind one of the doors. You can smell them.
I head for it. Do I smell anybody else?
You do. You don't know them.
Oh,
Are they near Evelyn or?
Well, actually, no, I take it back. You broke into both the rooms, didn't you?
Yes.
You smell the scent of both of the kids.
Okay. I am going to lean over. Do I smell which direction the kids are in?
You can
From
smell
where?
it from both doors.
The kids were here.
were
Evelyn's
or are?
there. I don't know if they still are. I can smell them. I can't. I don't hear any
Charlotte's
heartbeats.
headed for one of the doors.
I'm gonna head for the door that Evelyn's behind.
Okay. You smell her behind both doors.
Okay, I'm gonna head for the door on the left, and I'm gonna point at the door on the right.
Okay. What
Sage will
would
go
you
to
like
the
to
door
do?
on the right.
Okay.
I'll check. Is the door locked?
It is not.
I will ease it open as quietly as possible. Do I need to roll stealth?
No. As soon as you open the door, she knows you're there.
Okay, I'm gonna push the door open.
You push the door open. I should have known they'd find me somehow.
He's the sheriff.
Where are the
I'm across.
students?
While she's talking, I'm gonna cross the room and grab her around the throat.
That's going to require an attack.
Okay.
So you're going to, let's see here. Where are you?
Brawl?
Yes. So strength plus strength plus brawl.
I would also like to add my celerity.
Okay.
Drop 3 points of vitae for it, or 2 points of vitae for it. No, 3 points of vitae. I have 11. 3 points of vitae to give me a speed of 3, plus brawl, plus. I'm done playing this person.
Okay.
I had 9 successes. Kimberly is not a happy camper.
You rush her and grab her. She is standing with her back to a wall. The wall is made of stone. It's brick stone. And I'm assuming you grab her by the throat.
Yes, my hand, her throat lifting.
Okay.
And I'm gonna bury my other hand into her stomach. Like claws.
Okay.
I'm a very angry vampire now.
Okay. What do you do then? I'm assuming the rest of you have entered at this point.
Yeah.
Paige, Charlotte. Okay. The hunter team and everybody enters as well.
Luther, look what I caught for you.
And he gets a big old grin on his face.
Charlotte's not interested really in fighting, but she is looking for any other trace of the kids, or if they're here, or if they were.
Where are the kids? And you will tell me, and I'll make sure your final death is fairly swift and painful. Otherwise, this lovely hunter team right here, they're going to ensure that we get information from you about the kids. The choice is yours.
Okay, let's start with Charlotte. Charlotte, make a perception roll.
Ooh.
2.
Mhm.
You look around for signs of the 2 young kids. And while you don't see any signs of like clothing or anything like that, or they're being there, what you do notice is over near where Kimberly is holding Evelyn, there are traces, actually quite a few traces, of blood that lead into, on the floor, that lead into the wall.
She's gonna head over to the wall and see if she can see any kind of like secret hinge or any kind of seam.
Kimberly, as you are holding her up, she takes a moment and spits blood in your face and says, "The void comes for us all." As she does, you hear a loud crack. Think part of a mountain breaking away loud. And behind her, there's a crack in the wall.
Okay.
In the next breath, what looks to be a spike or something hard, something chitinous, something you're not even sure what it is. It doesn't look hairy, it's not scaly, but it jams through her chest and starts pulling her back into the wall.
The fuck is this shit? I'm gonna try and tug her away from the wall.
Make your strength check. Let's go strength and athletics for this one.
Two successes.
You tug and tug and tug and cannot get her free. And all she does is grin at you. And the grin on her face is one you will never forget the rest of your days. She's got this wild look in her eyes, like something inside snapped. And this thing drags her back into the wall, and the crack shuts.
This is fucking bullshit.
Is it the same wall that the smell of blood trails to?
Yes.
I'm gonna look at the hound. You saw that shit, right?
Yes. Yes, I did.
What is that? Do you know what that is?
I have absolutely no idea.
Fuck.
And Luther looks at you and says, "The fuck are you mixed up in?"
I'm hunting 2 kids that went missing. I wanted your help to find them.
That's not 2 missing kids.
No, that's not. And now we're figuring out why we were having such a hard time finding them and why even my mage friend couldn't find them. I'm gonna turn back to the door and see, is there an opening on the door or does it just crack open?
On what door?
The wall that he came through. Is there like
It was just a crack. And
so there's
actually,
like
so when it cracked, right, it was a massive, jagged, like earthquake type crack, right? It wasn't along the bricks that made up the wall, right? When you look at it now, the crack is gone. It's back to brick and mortar and like it should be, like nothing ever happened.
yeah. I'm gonna walk out and go check the other room.
Okay. The one with the sarcophagi?
Yeah, the other room that smelled like the kids.
No, it's a second door into this room.
Okay.
If you look along the back wall of this room, you see some shelving with cleaning supplies. The one directly behind where the display case with Bible was, it's shelving with cleaning supplies. This is almost like a janitorial closet. It's just bigger.
Knowing what we know about the outside of this building, does this wall lead to the outside, or would there be something else behind it?
You are underground.
I am going to call Crow.
Okay, you pick up the phone and call Crow.
Well, I'm gonna go out and then upstairs and I'm gonna dial Crow. Because I don't want the hunter team to know about Crow yet.
Okay. You head out and call Crow.
What is the void?
It's another name for the abyss. Why?
Do vampires normally play with the void?
No.
I just had a vampire tell me that the void consumes all, then gets stabbed through the chest with a leg or a spike or a something. Looked completely demented, like worse than you did on that 5-day LSD bender. And then vanish into a wall untouched. And the wall sealed back up as if it had never been.
The phone is silent for a long time.
I would like to join the Against Spooky Shit Club now, please.
Oh my God.
Oh, so you have an idea.
You and I should speak immediately.
With or without my hunter buddies? Because they were here too.
Without.
My hounds? My coterie? Just you and me? All right, just you and me.
They can come.
I am going to join the Latino Against Spooky Shit. I think that's going to be the best place for me at this point in time because this is what the fuck. All right, Crow, I will see you at a normal space. I am going to go give the hunter team some money to make up for using some of their time tonight. I will see you soon.
Okay.
So
And when he said you can bring them, he said when you said the hound and the coterie, you can bring them.
yeah, just not the hunter team. So I'm gonna go back down and I'm gonna reach into my back pocket and I'm gonna pull out a wad of bills and I'm gonna count off and give each of them $300.
Luther takes it and looks at you. You're a strange cat, aren't you?
Didn't you figure that out already?
He kind of sniffs and shakes his head. And the five of them walk off.
I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna peek out and make sure they're out of earshot, and then I'm gonna look up at the hound. Crow wants to meet us. You coming or not?
Yes, I'll be along. Where?
I will give him the address that we normally meet at.
Very well. And he and the other guy go out to their car and leave to go to that address.
I'm going to turn to Charlotte and Paige. I think we need our own club of Against Spooky Shit.
We've heard. Shall we have Victor meet us?
Yeah, if he's gonna actually show up. I understand needing to clean his pipes, but really?
Will you send the address?
I send Victor the address. I tell him he's got 20 minutes.
Victor, you get an address and 20 minutes to get there.
Yep, and which means he's gonna go outside. He's gonna make his way outside, hail a cab, give them the address, and get on there.
Yes.
It feels off to just go.
Well, what do you want to do?
I don't know. I
You
don't
want
know
some
what we
Bible?
just saw. I
We
don't know
steal the
what we
Bible.
just saw. Well, that feels a little hurtful.
Well, there's really not much we can do. I mean, I suppose I could break the wall, but then the church would probably be damaged, and then they'd have to spend money to fix the church. And if we go meet Crow, Crow can give us a little more information about the black sticky shit.
Do you think that's how the kids died? And she's like not looking at any of them, just looking up at the wall where the crack had been.
Maybe.
They must have been so scared.
Terrified. I'm terrified, I think.
I'm terrified, and I at least have some general idea of what's going on, but if this thing got out of the church to go kill the homeless man, or somebody did something,
I got a feeling she killed the homeless man.
this is bigger than what we expected it to be.
Nope, but we're still caught in it. I don't think we can just throw up our hand and say, oh, well, we're done, we're out.
I'm not saying that I want to.
Why not?
I
I
just-
want to. I want to fucking go back to Elysium, have a big pint of blood, and say, nope, not my problem. I'm not going to, because this is, but I want to. It's like that whole doing the adulting thing. I don't like it, but I do it.
I think Charlotte just kind of like she's no longer listening to her. She's just looking up at this wall. And her empathy is really high, and I think she's just feeling a little sick, like, with what the kids and even the vampire we just saw would have felt. And then without another word, just steps out and walks to her car.
Kimberly will follow.
Sage drops the obfuscation once they get to the car and the hunters have been gone for a while.
Yep.
Um, and then just says that was like a nightmare from a different world.
I thought we were the biggest nightmare we'd encounter.
Gonna need a bigger stick.
You guys head up to the abandoned building where she normally meets the crow. And the Hound and his associate are there. And as you pull up, the crow steps out of the shadows of a tree.
Victor's texting. I'm on my way.
You're there.
Oh.
You see it happen too. He's got this massive staff. Looks like frickin' Gandalf, right? Except Hispanic, actually Spanish, and the beard is dark rather than white. He kind of slowly walks towards you and stops a healthy distance away, but it's out in the open. Obviously, he doesn't want to be in that enclosed room with you, being outnumbered 6 or 7 to 1.
I'm gonna step forward a few feet, put a couple of $100 down, then step back. I wasn't able to pick you up a bottle of good scotch, but hopefully that'll pay for it.
He steps forward and picks up the money. Thank you. Although I almost feel like taking this is counterproductive.
Consider it a favor owed for later. I've got no doubt I'm going to need your help again. We're going to need your help again.
Where were you?
I gave him the address. It's an old church.
Trinity, huh?
And
Oh,
what do you
God
want to do?
damn it.
What? What is it?
He looks scared. And Kimberly, you have never seen him scared before. The creature you saw was almost certainly a gull moth.
I don't like the sound of that. How do we kill it?
You don't.
What is it?
It's, and he looks like he's struggling for a way to describe it. It's something that should not be. It comes from a place of nothing. Darkness doesn't even begin to describe what this place is.
Why would the
It,
land say it have it behind a wall?
it exists everywhere. Or rather, it exists nowhere and everywhere. It's next to you right now, and next to me, and not. And it requires power to cross the boundary of this plane.
Why is she supplying it power so that it could cross?
If she was a vampire, she doesn't have the power to do that.
Then
Oh,
who has power?
she provided 2 human subjects. We saw their blood and it led to the wall and then it disappeared. There was nothing behind the wall until she was killed, and then
Who is behind the
Yes.
wall?
it broke the wall open and grabbed her and then resealed it. So presumably she gave the kids to the thing, to the void.
He kind of strokes his beard. He says, "That is a reasonable assumption, yes." But even they would not power the ability of this thing to come across. It
What is
requires somebody with much more skill. Somebody we would call a Scalestus.
We were approached by a maid outside of a bookstore that belongs to Keenan, James Keenan, and
He nods like he's familiar.
the maid essentially warned us to stay away from Mr. Keenan, but also told us that we needed to stop looking into.
I don't. The GM interjection. I don't believe he
No,
told
that's
you to
not
stop.
what he said.
Yeah, I don't believe he told you to stop
Oh.
looking into it. He said, "Stay away from Mr. Keenan."
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you as a
Then,
player,
yeah.
Mr. Keenan has something of a panic button in his pocket. You freaked him out enough
Yeah.
to use it.
Yeah, I figured that much.
The mage
Okay, yeah,
was on the other end of the panic button.
I see. Okay. So you don't think Mr. Keenan's involved?
He's what we call a sleepwalker. A good man, but his interest is in antiquities. He he doesn't have the ability or the power to do what you're describing.
Okay.
And I'd not heard that we had a Scalestus in the area. That is very, very, very troubling. Because he would have that power.
Why would they work with this fire?
Evelyn?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. And that troubles me even more.
I don't like it.
I don't either. I must report this to the council.
Oh man.
They are going to want to know that somebody has been drawing down the abyss into this plane.
Who's on the council?
The most powerful of us.
Should we plan to give a first-hand experience?
Potentially. If they wish to talk with you, I will let Kimberly know. And you can meet with them. In the meantime, be careful. What you're dealing with is not something that a vampire is typically equipped to handle.
Well, that's why I've got you.
He looks around for a second, and then he looks at you and says, what you're dealing with is something that I am not likely equipped to handle.
I don't like this.
I'll be in touch.
Thank you.
And he turns and he walks away. Before he turns the corner of the back of the building, you see him vanish.
Time to go report to the sheriff.
Good luck with that.
So I seem to have missed a lot.
Yeah, we
Yeah, you
saw a
did.
monster demon crack through a wall and then eat a woman. It's kind of a bummer.
I mean, I was eating a woman too, but
Disgusting, thank you. Everyone back to Elysium.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the hound, say, can I ride with you?
If you wish.
Thank you. I'll let Victor ride with those two.
Come on, Victor. Do you wanna just chase us? Chase behind us?
Yeah, run really quickly.
On all fours?
Fuck you guys, make some room.
You
Once
could
they're in the
you
car,
could tie
Okay.
a treat on the back of the car with a string. Gotta drag it behind
Negative.
you.
You guys know I took a cab here, right?
We're very proud of your growth. How is she? How are you?
Oh. You know, if I'm being honest, I didn't get a lot of time to process things.
Don't want to hear about that. Thank you.
No, Lottie, that's not something I'm gonna talk about.
It's uncouth. Sage already called me a slut earlier.
Can
you believe-
I didn't say you're a slut. I said that if I was
I've been so
some
nice
Catholic
to you.
biddy,
Uh-huh.
if I was some Catholic biddy, I would look at you and think, oh, well, she's a slut.
Thank
Because
you.
those people are awful. I don't think you look slutty enough. But
I agree. We did go to a Catholic woman's home. She turned into a bat, and now she is dead because the void killed her.
The void.
she was a
killed-
vampire.
She was a vampire. The void killed her.
And she killed those kids, I think. Or if she didn't, they are somewhere that we can't get to right now.
You know, you'd think that this kind of shit would stop surprising me.
No, I don't. I don't think that
But
should. I don't think what we just said shouldn't surprise you, because
Yeah,
what we just said
consider my full bath.
is cuckoo.
Yeah, well, consider my fold baft. So
Ew. I don't want to hear anything about your or her folds.
that's Lottie. Consider me
Charlotte has
baffled.
made
Consider
it
my
to
fold
Elysia.
baft.
We are in the parking lot. Get the fuck out of my car.
I
Yeah,
think it was an attempt at wordplay,
It was an attempt at wordplay.
and it was precious.
It was really cute.
I could have said, consider my Jimmy's
Keep working
Russell.
on it.
But still, get the fuck out of my car.
Get the fuck out of my car, thank you.
Yeah, fucking fine, whatever.
Here, we've got a bone. Just kidding.
Wow. Wow, Sage.
I'm
You
sorry.
crack me.
Everybody else gets to pick on you, and I don't. That's not fun.
No, everybody picks on me. I suppose I wonder why I hang around with you guys.
Get out
It's
of
a mystery.
I'm out of your Lottie. I am not.
I'll
in your
walk
car.
with you. I'll walk with you. Come on. And I get out, and I walk with Victor, as presumably Lottie drives off.
Yeah, Lottie's going home.
Okay, you go home. You go with Victor downstairs, where his assistant is, and you arrive, Kimberly, at Elysium shortly thereafter. And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Right on the dot.
Yeah. So we'll pick up with what Kimberly finds when she talks to the sheriff, and what Sage and Victor get up to, and if anything interesting happens to Charlotte or not.
We'll see.
We'll see in 2 weeks. So until then, from our Citadel to yours, happy gaming.